Ruth! What the heck do you think you're doing getting married before me? Isn't that a little insensitive of you? Everyone knows the cutest sister should get married first. There's a proper order to these things, you know. You need to respect that. It should be illegal for someone as ugly as you to get married before me. Ugh, I wish you'd stop trying to ruin my life already.
Is that really you, Sharon? I almost didn't believe it when I saw the message. It's been that long. What do you want? Why are you messaging me out of the blue after all this time? I don't know what you mean by the proper order of things, but surely anyone would be free to get married whenever they want to. And really, how exactly am I trying to ruin your life? Isn't this all a bit dramatic?
It's not dramatic because you are. You really are.
How? I'm not even in a relationship.
It's pointless trying to hide it, I know. I know you guys are already making plans for the wedding day.
I just told you I'm not even in a relationship. That means I'm single, you dummy.
Whatever, liar. Liar, pants on fire. I'm the one who should be getting married first. Do you understand? Me. I'd be a laughing stock if my cave troll of a sister got married before me. I'm the beautiful one. Why can't you consider my reputation for once? I have to be the first one to get married.
You are aware that if you have a boyfriend, you guys are free to get married whenever you like, right? I'm really not stopping you. In fact, I'm rooting for you. You go, girl. You can complain at me till you're blue in the face, but it isn't gonna put a ringer on your finger, you know?
Duh, I know that. But I'm still not letting you get married first. This wedding is not going ahead.
You're right, it's not. Because as I keep trying to tell you, I'm single.
Ruth, I heard that you're planning on getting married without mine or Sharon's permission. Is this true? This wedding is not happening. I won't allow it.
Huh? Oh lord, not you two.
Excuse me?
I have no idea how Sharon got into her head that I'm getting married, but I can assure you I'm not.
Liar! She said she saw you, so there's no point in lying. We know, Ruth.
I see. So you also intend on completely ignoring everything I say and causing a huge fuss over nothing, huh? Good grief, you two haven't changed a bit.
Regardless of what you say, it's only right that Sharon be the first one to get married. Can you imagine how upset your beautiful sister would be if you got married before her? What with your face being as unfortunate as it is. You're a grown woman and you need to start thinking about your little sister's reputation in the eyes of the world for once. She'd never heard the end of it.
I said this to Sharon too. But if she has a boyfriend, she's free to get married whenever she likes. I'm not stopping her at all, and she doesn't need to worry about me one bit. Being senselessly harassed by my estranged family over an imaginary wedding is kind of annoying, and I'd appreciate if you stopped.
Excuse me?
Wasn't I clear enough? Try this instead then. Leave me alone.
Hey, sis! I found a 100% foolproof guaranteed way of getting married before you.
What? Are you really still going on about this? Aren't you bored yet? Don't you have anything better to do than pester me? Over something that doesn't even make any sense, no less.
Well, you're still making plans for the wedding, aren't you?
Like I told you countless times, I'm single and I have no plans to get married.
You're gonna love this. I hit upon a way to make you give up on your wedding and get married before you. You can consider this message as a declaration of war.
What exactly are you planning on doing?
That's for me to know and you to find out. The plan's going full steam ahead starting tomorrow, so you better prepare yourself.
Once more, I have no boyfriend, no fiancé, no husband, and no intention of getting married in the foreseeable future.
You little witch! You had no intention of giving up on the wedding in the end, did you? Why, you little...
What? Mom? Is this by any chance a continuation of your nonsensical ramblings about the imaginary wedding that you should have given up on 10 months ago? You still haven't let whatever this is go?
Don't ever speak to your mother like that, young lady. Like hell I'd give up on something so important. Anyway, back to the point. It's time for you and him to break up and go your separate ways.
Him? If you're talking about this imaginary boyfriend, or fiancé, or husband, or whatever he's supposed to be of mine, then I hate to break it to you, but I'm still single, just like I was back then.
The lies stop now, Ruth. I'd never raise you like this. I don't care how much you kick or scream, but this weekend's wedding ceremony is simply not going ahead. Cancel it. That's an order, not a request.
Interesting. That's the first I've heard of me getting married this weekend.
Listen, Ruth, here's the thing. Your sister Sharon is pregnant.
What?
This isn't going to be easy for you, but listen. And listen carefully. The baby is your fiancé's. There's no doubt about it.
What? Who the hell are you talking about? I just feel like a broken record at this point, but I'll say it again. I don't have a boyfriend or a fiancé. This person you're talking about doesn't exist. Really, what's going on here? I'm so confused. Have you been causing some poor guy trouble based on a misunderstanding? Please tell me you haven't.
Don't you dare change the subject, young lady. Sharon's already in the last month of her pregnancy.
What? You mean the baby's due soon?
That's right. Sharon, and not you, will be the bride at this weekend's wedding. You might not like it, but this is non-negotiable. Your sister is giving birth in 10 days. Give her your fiancé, now!
Ugh, how many times do I have to tell you? I have no wedding plan, nor do I plan on planning one, nor do I have a fiancé to give my sister. Not that this conversation would be any less weird, even if I was getting married.
How disappointing. I see you're still clinging to your desperate lies in a vain attempt to dodge your responsibilities to your family. If you don't stop this at once, I'm disowning you. You'll never speak to any of us again, I swear. There's no place for you in this family if you don't value your little sister's happiness. Disowning you is the only sensible option.
I really don't mind if you disown me. In fact, I'd actually be super relieved to never have to engage with any of you again. Would you do it? Would you please disown me? In any case, I'm not engaged to anyone.
Excuse me?
If there is a wedding being held somewhere this weekend, then I strongly advise you look into it a little more thoroughly before you turn the happiest day of some poor couple's lives into a nightmare. One thing I can tell you for sure, the bride at whoever's wedding this is not me.
Ruth, pick up the phone. What is this? What the heck is going on?
What do you want? Would you mind not spam calling me all of a sudden? I'm kind of at work.
Huh? You're at work?
I'm on a business trip to Seattle to negotiate with a major client.
Seattle?
The only reason I'm replying to you is because I have a little downtime in between talks right now. If you have something to say to me, then make it quick.
Whoa. Hold on a sec. If you're in Seattle right now... I knew it. The bride at the wedding in Chicago just now wasn't you, was it?
Huh?
She was a total stranger. I'd never seen her before. Ugh, you tricked me, Ruth. God damn you.
Just hold on a sec. How on earth am I supposed to understand what's going on if you won't even explain it to me? You just come at me with a load of gibberish and seemingly expect an answer? Please tell me you didn't just crash some poor stranger's wedding. Well, where was it held?
S Weddings Community Hall?
Huh? S Weddings?
Obviously! I saw you and your fiancé, Alex Davis, going in there together about a year ago. Where else would it have been held?
Huh? Alex?
Not only that, but apparently he was seen going in and out regularly afterwards, too. What's more, A little while after that, I overheard him discussing the wedding with someone who seemed to be his friend at a cafe near the hall, and a date was mentioned.
And what date was today?
Yes! That's why I crashed the wedding while pregnant with Alex's baby. But he wasn't even there. I'd never seen the bride and groom in my life, and they were horrified. God, it was so embarrassing. When the security guards ran over and restrained me, the watermelon I had under my jumper fell out and smashed into little pieces all over the floor.
No way. You had a watermelon under your jumper to try and look pregnant?
I had no idea what was going on. I was in such a panic. I just hightailed it out of there as soon as I managed to get the security guards off of me.
You ran away?
Obviously. What else was I gonna do? Stay for the buffet? I'm with Mom right now at the Apple Hotel next to the hall. We've been staying here since last night in preparation for today. We're going home as soon as the heat dies down. I could hear police sirens after I escaped, so we're laying low for now. Oh my god, I can't tell you how embarrassing it was. Even just thinking about it makes me cringe. This is all your fault. You are the worst.
Ruth, this is bad. Help! Sharon's been captured by the families of the bride and groom at the wedding she accidentally crashed.
Could be worse. Look on the bright side. At least the cops don't have her yet.
What? Wait, do you know about this?
Listen, Mom. That wedding my sister just crashed, it just so happened to be the wedding of one of my coworkers.
What?
This includes a little speculation on my part based on what Sharon just told me herself, but here's why I think she made such a ridiculous misunderstanding. When she saw me walking into the S Weddings community hall with Alex Davis a year ago, I wasn't there to plan a wedding, but to hold a work meeting.
A work meeting?
I work for a large advertising agency that specializes in weddings. S Weddings are one of our biggest clients, and me and Alex, my coworker, regularly hold meetings with them to discuss upcoming proposals and leases on existing contracts. And as a result of knowing what a good company they are through work, Alex decided to get married at one of their venues. It was a small ceremony held only for close friends and family.
What, Alex?
Yes, Alex. You know, the person you convinced yourself was my fiancé. Sharon was under the delusion that she could somehow charm Alex before the wedding and stop it ever going ahead, which, needless to say, failed miserably. But not knowing when to give up and so hell-bent on being the first sister to get married, she hatched a plan where she'd try and convince Alex she was pregnant with his baby before ordering him to abandon his wife at the altar and marry her instead. Which is why she barged into the wedding hall screaming and shouting with a watermelon stuffed under her jumper like some escaped mental patient.
But she said Alex wasn't the groom after all. Apparently she didn't recognize anyone. Do you have any idea how embarrassed she was? That poor girl!
That's probably because this whole plan of hers was based on a fundamental misunderstanding.
A misunderstanding? What kind of misunderstanding?
She still hasn't realized, has she? Alex wasn't the groom, she was the bride.
What? The bride?
Alex is a woman.
A woman?
She's always been a big girl. She was the national judo champion back in high school, tall as a giraffe with biceps like a bodybuilder. She typically only wears guyish clothes like baggy pants and blazers. I don't think she even owns a skirt. In her own words, I'm mistaken for a guy pretty much on a daily basis. Apparently, she started going out of her way to make it clear to people she's a woman after this whole incident with Sharon basically stalking her, though.
Alex is a woman? I can't believe it. How could this be?
I'll tell you how it could be. It could be because you both ignored absolutely everything I said at every opportunity. If you would have listened to me for just 1 second, this never would have happened. That's why my sister made a complete moron of herself in front of dozens of people. I had a feeling Alex and her family would probably be looking for the culprit, so I gave her a call. She was speechless when I told her it was none other than my little sister.
You told her? You little snitch! You ratted on your own sister! How could you, you demon!
She ran away without taking even a shred of responsibility for ruining what should have been the happiest day of my coworker's life. There's only one person in the wrong here, and it isn't me.
Ruining?
As a result of her gate crashing the wedding, the whole ceremony got cancelled. Sharon will most likely be forced to take responsibility in the form of compensation for the cost of the wedding and damages for the mental anguish caused by her abhorrent behavior. If I had to guess, I'd say she should be receiving some letters in a few days' time. Make sure she checks the mail.
Compensation? Damages? What?
Which is why I advise you to continue this conversation with Alex and her lawyer.
No, please! You have to do something about this. You're her friend. Surely you can make her see sense.
Nope, it's your mess, not mine. Fix it yourselves.
Ruth!
Goodbye. You would have thought Sharon would have realized she was making a misunderstanding at some point during the 10 months between hearing about the wedding and actually crashing it. Although maybe that would be putting too much faith in the reasoning abilities of someone who'd stuff a watermelon under their jumper and crash a wedding to steal someone's wife? A few days later, I apologized profusely to Alex and her husband for the actions of my family. Fortunately, they were both very understanding, but unfortunately, the reality of my sister ruining their wedding day would never disappear. Just as planned, Alex sued Sharon for compensation and damages for the cost of the wedding and mental anguish she caused. As if that wasn't enough, it turns out she also broke an expensive statue during her dramatic escape from the wedding hall, for which she was also ordered to pay a hefty sum. We're a single-mother family, and after flying the nest long ago, and now intentionally keeping my distance from the terrible two, our mom was the only person in the world my sister had to rely on. Then, one night it happened. My mom ran away in the night. With that, the crippling financial burden was placed squarely on Sharon's shoulders, and on her shoulders alone. Last I heard, she was spending her days wallowing in regret and complaining about how unfair the world is while working like a dog to pay off her debts.
Hey Max, I just got off work. I'll go buy something to give your parents, then I'll head back home.
Got it, Veronica. But I'm hungry, so make sure you come home soon. Nat says she wants to eat soon too.
Hey, you know, I keep telling you, but we're both working full-time. Maybe you could make dinner sometimes, Max?
But your cooking is much better than mine.
Your cooking is good too. Can't you at least make dinner when I'm going to be back late? We can take turns if you want.
Oh, I get it. You're taking it out on me because you've had a bad day at work, huh?
No, that's not it.
You say that, but I can tell. You only say these things when you're busy at work.
If you know I'm busy with work, then that's even more reason for you to cook. Whose fault do you think it is that I've had overtime for the last few days?
Huh? Are you saying it's my fault?
It's because I'll be behind on this project from staying with your parents. 3 whole days, Max.
But they keep pestering me to go see them. They want to talk about moving closer to us too, so don't make me the villain here.
I told you that I'm against that, didn't I? Who was the one that asked them if we could stay for a few days so we could talk about that?
It was me. But we're married, so my parents are your family too. You could treat them better, couldn't you?
I would, if they treated me well back. You know that I'm not fond of your dad. Don't you remember what happened when Nat was a baby?
Oh, when Dad saw you breastfeeding her? That was so long ago. You're holding such a grudge over it when he just saw you by accident. Does it matter when he's family?
He was a stranger to me not that long before, and I only just had Nat. I think anyone would feel disgusted to be peeped on by their father-in-law in that situation. I won't ever forget it.
You just felt that way because we'd only just got married. It's been 10 years since then. He didn't mean to do it, so you should forgive him.
How could I forgive him? I don't even want to go to their house.
But if we don't visit, they'll just come over to ours.
And it's your job to stop that, Max. Didn't I tell you that there'd be no second chances? If your dad does anything like that again, I will leave their house.
I know. But I couldn't stop them this time. My parents want to spend some time with Nat.
I know they're good to Nat because they adore her, but I don't want to live on the same street as them. They might call me cold, but I just can't. You promised me this before we got married, remember?
But I do think we'll be able to focus on work more if my parents live very close. We can get them to look after Nat, right? They can help around the house too.
We've been able to cope so far while we both worked. And really, the housework would be fine if you actually helped me, right, Max?
I guess. Fine. Just try not to decline so forcefully to my parents.
Then you should help me when we talk to them. So no agreeing to their plan, got it?
Fine, I get it. Veronica, where are you? I heard you and Nat went for a walk?
We're exploring the hills out back. Nat found a squirrel earlier, so she wants to find it again.
It's almost dark, so you should get back soon. Mom says she wants a hand with making dinner.
I know, but I don't want to see your dad. After not seeing him for so long, literally the first thing he said to me was, "You've put on some curves." That's not a normal thing to say.
He didn't mean any harm by that. He's from an older generation, so he doesn't know what's appropriate these days. Aren't you being a little too sensitive?
Maybe. But it didn't exactly make me feel great.
Just ignore him. Anyway, don't go near the guest house. There's someone with a very twisted head in there.
Twisted head? Isn't it just Franklin?
Yeah, I didn't think my brother would be visiting as well. I wish I'd known so we could have visited another time.
I've greeted him a few times, but he seems normal. I said hi, but he responded normally.
Ugh, don't say hi to him. In fact, you shouldn't speak to him at all. Even if he speaks to you, ignore him.
Okay. But what's so strange about him? I didn't notice anything different about him.
He's kind of creepy, and he's always watching anime. You know, a weeaboo. I spoke to Dad about it, but he's probably not interested in women his own age. It's probably why he's still single past 30.
Isn't that a little harsh? I think the stage you get married at is different for everyone. I watch anime sometimes too.
But the stuff he watches isn't the normal kind. And when I was back in high school, he peeped on my girlfriend at the time while she was in the bathroom.
Wow, is that true?
He's disgusting, right? He got beaten by Dad because of that. Anyway, don't go near the guest house anymore. I don't want him to meet Nat either. He's the kind of person that might end up on the news because he did something to a child.
I got it. If you're so insistent, I won't go near the guest house.
Yeah, that's for the best. Oh yeah, I forgot. I'm going drinking with my local friends after dinner.
Really? You're going to leave me and Nat alone?
After you eat, it's just brush your teeth and go to bed, right? You'll be fine without me. We'll speak tomorrow about moving house.
But...
You should show them your parenting and help them around the house. My parents were against us both working full-time, remember? They're from a generation where it's normal for the women to be stay-at-home moms.
Hey, wait a minute. They don't think I do the housework normally? Then you should tell them that I do!
Well, I know that. But my parents don't. If you show them that you can take care of the family, they won't use that against us when we decline about them moving close.
I don't get this at all. Fine. But come home quickly.
Well, I'll make an effort.
An effort? I came here even though I didn't want to. You need to support me a little more.
Fine, I get it. When we have the talk with my parents, I'll be on your side, Veronica.
As you should. Oh, will Franklin be joining us for the talk?
I doubt it. Our parents moving doesn't concern him.
Of course it does. They're his parents too. They're considering moving because they're worried about our living situation. Franklin should be involved too.
It's fine. Don't worry about him.
I'll at least tell him that we're having this talk.
It's fine. I told you already, didn't I? Don't go near the guest house where he is.
I won't take Nat with me. Then it should be fine, right?
Talking to him won't do any good. Just don't go near him.
Then you should tell him, Max.
I don't want to speak to him.
Then I guess I'll have to talk to him.
Well, it's not my fault if something happens. I tried to warn you. It'll be your own fault and no one else's. Hey. Why did you leave the house? I'm hungover and I've got a splitting headache. I don't want to deal with this. I'm really not in the mood for this.
That's my line, Max. I called you so many times, but you didn't pick up.
I was drinking with my friends. I couldn't help it.
My butt you couldn't. You heard what happened yesterday, right?
Yeah, Franklin went under Nat's bed covers in the night. I told you that my brother was a pervert, didn't I? You still went to speak to him after I told you not to. This is your fault.
What are you talking about?
I'm telling you that this was caused by you speaking to Franklin. It's because you went into the guest house when there was no need, so he took that as an invitation. You can't just do whatever just because my parents aren't going to be living close.
What?
And you left even before we had the talk with my parents. My parents say they're so disappointed in you. They said that they want a daughter-in-law who treats them well. I don't know if it's going to work between us like this.
Right. I agree. Let's divorce. I can't do this with you anymore either, Max. Getting divorced would be the best thing for both of us.
No. I only said that half seriously. I didn't mean that I wanted to divorce you.
I'm saying it completely seriously. Anyway, what? Franklin went under Nat's bed covers? Is that what your parents told you?
They did.
That's wrong. Your dad was the one who went under Nat's bed covers. Franklin actually tried to stop him. Your dad's face is swollen, right?
Huh? Dad said he got hit when he tried to stop Franklin.
I was watching the whole thing right next to them. When Nat woke up screaming, your dad was right next to her. Nat says Franklin tried to help her as well. We didn't just both imagine that.
Oh. So it wasn't Franklin after all.
You said that Franklin is a sick pervert, but not only is he normal, he's kind. He actually gave us a lift away from your parents' house. It's your dad who's sick in the head.
Wow, what are you saying? Why is Dad sick?
He snuck into Nat's bed. And he even lied that it was Franklin who did it. If that isn't sick, I don't know what is.
My dad's her grandfather, so it's okay, lol. He just wanted to cuddle with his granddaughter after not seeing her for so long. He probably made it Franklin's fault because you guys noticed and he was just embarrassed.
What? Are you being serious right now? He snuck into the room where we were sleeping while you were gone. I was even sleeping beside her. Your dad is a filthy pervert. He's a twisted old geezer.
What's your problem? Why are you insulting Dad?
I'm not insulting him, just stating the truth. I shouldn't be asking you why you don't understand. Do you even realize what he did to your own daughter?
Stop treating Dad as if he's a weirdo. You always twist everything he does to make him look bad. How self-centered are you to be so self-conscious about him seeing you breastfeeding Nat?
I see now. It's like Franklin said.
What is?
He said that even if I told you, you wouldn't believe me, Max. You said that in the past, Franklin peeped on your girlfriend in the bathroom. But he denied it, right?
Of course, anyone would deny it. They don't want to be treated like a criminal.
He told me that that was your dad too. Franklin caught your dad as he was peeping on her. He said that he pinned the blame on Franklin. He was forced to become distant from the family because he found out your dad's secret.
But he could just be making all of this up. There's no evidence.
There is. There's footage of your dad sneaking into our room.
footage.
Franklin went to your parents' house for a purpose. He thought that your dad would try to do something creepy. So he was trying to get some proof.
Are you sure that's true?
What's the point in me lying about this? Nat even told me that when she was having a shower, your dad went into the bathroom to speak to her. It's very suspicious behavior. Why would he go to the bathroom and speak to her from behind the shower curtains? I can't help but wonder what would have happened if she was getting changed.
Hey, come on now. Stop thinking in that way. You're being dramatic. He's family. I feel sorry for Dad.
What? You're going to take your dad's side even after all this?
I'm not taking sides. I'm just doing what's right. Stop accusing him of doing strange things when he's family. This is horrible.
You're the one who's horrible, Max. Nat says she's creeped out by her granddad, too. I don't need you if you're not going to protect me and Nat. I should have divorced you sooner if this was going to happen.
Just calm down, Veronica. What a joke it would be to divorce over something so small.
It's no small thing. Not for me or Nat. And this isn't just about your dad. I'm getting sick of your behavior too, Max.
My behavior? I've been a good father, haven't I? Aren't you satisfied?
You believe your father over me and our daughter. We both work full-time, but you feel entitled to me doing all the housework. You show no concern for your daughter. You try to protect your parents over us after what we went through. I've had enough. Enough of everything.
What the hell? I wish I'd listened to my parents.
Huh?
Women with careers get full of themselves. It's exactly as they said. Just because you could make it on your own, even if we divorce, you insult my parents. You won't quit your job, but you won't let my parents move close by. You're selfish and always whining. I should have married a more obedient woman.
Fine then. So, we agree to a divorce? We'll be leaving the house immediately.
Veronica, hi. It's been a while.
What is it? Didn't I tell you not to text me other than for seeing Nat?
Actually, I wanted to apologize to you and Nat. I was wrong.
Okay.
After we divorced, my parents moved in with me. They couldn't get hold of Franklin. So we were living normally until recently. But Dad got arrested.
Oh? What for?
You know the Hartleys next door? Dad was stealing laundry from their little girl.
Really?
Yeah, really. And when they searched his room, he had items of clothing from other women and girls too.
Right. So, now you believe us.
I'm sorry, I was so stupid. It seems like Mom knew from before about Dad's sick habit, but she ignored it. Now she's just holed herself up in her room. Please, help me. I can't look after the two of us alone.
And? I'm not your wife anymore.
I'm begging you. The house is a mess and the neighbors are looking at us coldly. I feel myself getting depressed as well.
I'm sure it's tough for you. But this is what you wanted. You chose your parents over us.
But I didn't think Dad was actually guilty.
I understand wanting to believe in your own father. But I told you so many times, didn't I? This could have gone differently if you'd listened to us back then.
Veronica, let's fix this. I'll really make an effort. I'll protect you and Nat from now on. I'll contribute to the housework too. I won't burden you with everything. I'll work hard.
Max.
Let's sell this house and buy a bigger property to build a house on. We can't live here anymore. It'll work out as long as we're both working full-time. We'll build a guest house for my parents.
What? So your parents will live with us too?
It's fine as long as we have separate living spaces, right? We just look after them sometimes.
You don't get it at all. I'm tired of this. Divorcing you was the right decision after all.
But they're family. We should take care of them, right?
You're still saying that? What if your dad tries to do something to us again?
I'll protect you both if that happens.
It'll be too late after the fact. Anyway, what makes you think you could protect us next time when you couldn't before? I'm not living with your parents, nor you. Nat and I will live with just the two of us.
Veronica, didn't you love me? If there wasn't this problem with my parents, our marriage will have continued.
I thought about that. But I think this would have happened between us eventually. I thought I should move on after considering that.
But why? Why does this have to happen?
Because I have no choice. You didn't stop your dad from peeping on my breastfeeding. You laughed as if it was normal when he snuck into Nat's bed covers. You said it was normal because he's family, that we were being overly sensitive. I can't deal with your way of thinking.
I just want you to support me. Please. Help me.
You ask for help when you didn't help us. How convenient. Of course I wouldn't live with those people.
But I can't even move house like this. The house is a total mess.
You said you'd contribute to the housework earlier, but maybe you should do that now. Stop relying on others. If you can't do it now, that wouldn't magically change if you moved in with us.
No. I'll make an effort. Please come back, because I'll help out. I'm begging you.
I don't want to live with a criminal. Stop trying to drag me and Nat into this. You said you want to marry a more obedient woman, didn't you? I'll never forget that. I will never choose to be your family again. After that, Max contacted me several times. I guess he was really struggling. He even waited for me in front of my workplace once, so I reported him to the police. They put a restraining order on Max. He stopped contacting me since, so it looks like he gave up. I heard that his dad was at it again and did something similar again. He was arrested, again. I'm really glad that we didn't end up living with someone like that. Max is busy with his dad's court proceedings and paying compensation to victims. But this is what he wanted, so I hope he takes good care of them. Nat and I moved away, and we're living peacefully. Nat's taken a liking to Franklin after he saved her. She sometimes borrows my phone to text him. Their conversations are all anime, so I don't really get it. But I'm glad to see that they seem to enjoy talking. It's great that Nat has such a caring uncle. I'll make sure that Nat is taken care of and protected.